Welcome to Florist Review's online video that pairs with the technique department in each month's issue. I'm Talmadge McLaurin, publisher of Florist Review. Well, it's October, and I'm sure your flower shop is full of fall icons, but nothing's more popular than the pumpkin. One of my favorite things, my favorite color, orange, and today we've got a floral pumpkin that I'm sure that your customers are going to love. To create a fantasy pumpkin that's all about flowers, we're going to use orange carnations. And I've cut an entire bunch of orange carnations, and I'm going to utilize the Oasis sphere. Now this is the smallest one, and since it's a small one and I want this to be really sturdy, here's what I'm going to do. I have pre-cut all of the carnations, and I'm going to take the Oasis waterproof adhesive, and rather than putting it inside a cup to dip the stem in, what I'm going to do is use the tube the way it was meant to be and just put a drop on the side of the stem and start making a round pumpkin. By applying the glue on the side of the stem, the water intake for each carnation stem is not impeded by glue, so it makes the pumpkin last a lot longer. Well, I started with one bunch of carnations, but these carnations were just a bit small, and it took 2 full bunches of carnations to complete a round sphere, the smallest sphere from Oasis. So it's really important that you know how many carnations it's going to take. Also, if you pre-fluff your carnations, cut them off and fluff them out a little bit, they'll cover more territory, and always pick the ones with the biggest heads when you're creating spheres like this. Now I'm going to position the fantasy pumpkin right on top of this great container from Burton & Burton. It's got a copper finish to it, and it matches the color of the carnations really well. So I'm going to take 3 wooden picks, insert them into the foam, and just for a little bit of added security, I'm going to take the Oasis floral adhesive and put a drop on each of these picks. Set the pumpkin right into place. Now to give the pumpkin a little bit of pizzazz, I want to add a few salal leaves. So I'm going to put those just around the edges. To form the stem and the leaves of the pumpkin, I have decided I want to use some decorative wires. These are also from Oasis, and to create the stem of the pumpkin, I'm going to take a magic marker and just roll the wire tightly around the magic marker and bunch it up and roll a bit more. Now that I have the thickness that I want for my stem, I'm just going to cut that wire, slide it off the magic marker, and place it on top of the carnations. Give it a little attitude here. There we go. Now, for some leaves to match this stem, I take the same wire that's in a copper color that matches the great container that's from Burton & Burton, and I'll take my needle nose pliers and just give it a pinch at the end, wrap it around, and pull it apart, making a great pumpkin leaf. And of course, pumpkin foliage and vines have some curlicues. Can't forget those. I'll take the same wire, and instead of a magic marker, I'm going to take a pencil. I'm going to wrap it really tightly and create some of those wonderful curling vines. So with a little help from the fine products from our friends at Oasis and Burton & Burton, we have a fantasy pumpkin that's sure to please your customers all through the fall season, right into Thanksgiving. If I seem a little excited about fall, it's because it's my favorite time of the year. That's why in my book, Flower Styling, I devoted an entire chapter to the autumn season. Get your copy today by clicking onto the bookstore, and we'll see you next month.